Once again, welcome back to The Longest Journey. Say hi, Ryan.
April Ryan, you have got to get past yourself.
Well, yeah, that will have to do. So we have gone into this port or dock kind of place. We'll probably be talking to people and looking around. I think what we have to do now is just to find a way to get some gold or some money. I have a strong feeling we'll need a map, probably, and we'll probably have to play with the merchant back at the stall. So yeah, let's have a look what we can do here. There's a couple of people here. We can talk to them. We can go the small pier, or we can go to the ship. We probably can't go to the lighthouse.
Much like the ones we have at home, except this one, of course, burns a blue fire.
Well, the color of the fire isn't too important. It's a lighthouse. It probably does the same thing as any lighthouse would.
I wouldn't feel too comfortable about sailing anywhere in that. It's like a toy boat for children.
Okay, I certainly hope we will not have to sail anywhere, but he looks like an old sailor, of course. I was gonna say fisherman, but that's close enough.
The old man and the, ocean?
Sea.
Looks like a lifetime at sea has left its tracks on him.
Better a lifetime at sea than a day in a dress and a brassiere.
And he is eavesdropping on us, so let's go and talk to him.
Hello, old man.
Old
I
man.
got me no treasure, and I got me no map of no buried treasure. I just be an old sailor with no ship, so leave us be.
Well, that can't be it, can it? And he's gonna smoke a pipe. He did ask us to leave him be, but I will be a nosy pest.
What are you doing?
Mending nets, of course. What it look like I be doing?
I'm not well versed in maritime customs.
Mar what? Ah, yous mean sea life, dear.
Yes.
Ah, the smell of the salty sea, the lapping of waves on your ship, the spray of cold water on your face, plump maidens in every part. I tell yous, I be having stories about the sea.
I'll probably gladly listen to those stories.
Care to share some of your maritime stories with me?
Mar what? Ah, tales of the sea, right? Sure, sweetie, I be happy to. Now, what stories be I wanted to hear then?
I'm not quite sure if I just need to find out what I need to find out from him first. Is there a particular story that we need to get to know? But I think at the moment anything will do.
Any tale of your exciting adventures will do.
I be having plenty of tales to tell. There be the tale of me adventures in the Baksheevan Empire, if you'd be interested. It'd be a tale of grand romance, just up your alley, be sure of it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Sure, that sounds like a fine story.
Aye. It be near on 50 years ago that I was a mate on a sturdy old lady called the Three-Legged Whore.
Okay.
The what?
What do I be saying? She was called the Thrifty Horse, she was. Aye, that be her name. The Whistle Whatsit.
You don't remember the ship's name, do you?
No, he doesn't.
Anyways, I be a young mate then, and we be anchored in Monterba, the grand western port of the once glorious Baksheevan Empire. I be having ship leave until the following evening, and it be me first visit to that exotic and dangerous port. So I sets out to have a look around. Now, bear in mind that Monterba be ruled by a mock, like all large Baksheevan cities. In principle, the mock be having to report to and pay half of all taxes to the Emperor in Port Altaban. But with the Baksheevan Empire having all but crumbled into pieces, the provinces do be having the power to do pretty much as they be wanting. And so I sets out on me own that day to explore the city. Now, bear in mind that all the cities of the Southlands
I was just about to say I've actually lost track of
we
who's what.
adventures in the once glorious empire of Bakshiva. And that be how I meet me bird. How I seduce and the romance the Mock's daughter. How I be chased from Mount Herb by the Mock's soldiers. And how I be the first man to walk across the desert of Shangagriel, the wastelands. And how I be getting this awful rash on. Ah, girl, you do not be sleeping, do you?
Of course not. Your story was interesting, entertaining, and I'm just listening with closed eyes.
What? What? Sleeping? No. Just concentrating really hard. Good story, though. Solid material. Ever considered doing a book?
Aye, but the agents in Arcadia be bloodthirsty vampires with no thought but to milk your life's blood.
Oh, so they take an outrageous commission then?
No, they actually be bloodthirsty vampires with a penchant for biting your neck when you ain't be looking.
Huh.
That was very literal. Literal. There you go. I'd love to hear some more. Oh God, do we have to? Let's go ahead and do it.
I'd love to hear some more maritime stories.
Sure, sweetie, I'd be happy to. What story you be wanting to hear now?
I just hope it's not gonna be the same one.
Any tale of your exciting adventures will do.
You want more? Damn be me wooden left ankle. I be having a great old tale to tell yous about how I be coming to have me wooden pecker. It all began...
You know what? On second thought, forget about it.
Okay, yeah, so we're not gonna have to go through it again. That's good. So probably there is another story I'll have to hear later on. I just don't know what it is yet. I'm guessing so because there is still this option to choose more stories.
What have you got in that chest?
What chest?
The one you're sitting on.
Oh, that be no chest, girl. That be me stool. Aye, me stool, carved into the uncanny likeness of a chest.
No, it's a chest.
But what's in it?
No priceless treasure, that be for sure. Nothing at all. It be empty.
I really don't believe him.
No, really. What's in the chest?
Oh, live snakes. Aye, snakes that'll bite your face off before you have time to jump. Better leave them be, then.
I still don't believe you.
Still curious about that chest.
Right. I be telling yous. Curse the balance, girl. You never give up, do you?
Nope.
I be having no real treasure in here, like I told ye. But it be where I keep me personal articles and things I be picking up now and then on me travels. And me bed, it's where I be keeping me bed before I be losing him. I be a stupid old man. He be my best friend. I ain't nobody else around to talk to, you see, on account of him being a talking bird.
Oh, so we know which one it is. That's the black bird from the merchant on the market. Probably.
What happened to your talking bird?
I be cheated out of him. Aye, that cups handler on the marketplace be cheating me in a full game of cups. And
That's
I
the
be
one?
having to give me bird up to try to win me money back.
And what happened?
He be taking me bird when I be choosing the wrong cup. Aye, my best friend taken from me. Cursed be the balance. It be all lonesome now. The worst part is that me bird is now a prize to be won. A prize in the cups game. Beat the handler thrice and you win a prize of your choice, me poor bird.
What's your bird's name?
Bird.
Oh,
That's easy to remember. Okay, I think I know what I have to do now. I'll just need one golden coin to pay for the game of cups.
I'd better get going.
Ah, yous young'uns all be always running round. Everything be so important. Yous be having no time to sit down and take a breath. So go. Be not wasting your time here with me.
Well, I've actually wasted quite a lot of time with you. I'm just wondering if there's anything at all that I have on me right now that I could give him. But I really don't think that would be the case. No? Okay. So let's go back and let's see what other wonders we've got in this port. I actually get to kind of like it. And we've got another ship.
Judging by his ungainly stance, I'd say he's a mariner pining for the sea.
I would say he's a captain of some sort, just standing like that in front of the ship.
Ahoy there, matey!
Pardon?
Isn't that how you sailors greet each other?
No.
What do you say then?
Usually, hello. And if it's sunny, nice day for it. We might even try a how are you today then, if we're feeling adventurous. But never, ever, ahoy.
Okay.
This is valuable information.
Aye, matey, that it be.
You just said matey to me. I was just trying to be, you know, sailor-like.
Why aren't you out at sea?
Do you see the sail on that barge over there?
Yes.
Is it flapping?
What?
Is it flapping? Is the sail flapping in the wind?
Okay, there's no wind, I get it.
No.
And why is that then?
Because it's not windy?
Well done.
Exactly.
Well, can't you just use oars or something?
Oh, what an excellent idea. Now, why didn't we think of that? Of course. Oars! By Jaw's stunted left arm, that's it. Why have we been moored to the dock for a month with our merchandise dropping in value when we could have just rowed our way to gear?
You've made your point.
Are you being sarcastic?
Yes, he is.
Sarcastic? Me? What in Jaw's name makes you think that?
How long's it been since the last wind?
Near a month. Ever since that accursed alchemist put some kind of spell on the wind. The Mojal be cursed if I know why. But it's a bloody catastrophe. I've sent some good people of mine up north to deal with him, but not one has returned. Now the Areed High Council speak of sending an entire army platoon to sort him out. But I'm afraid that just might piss him off.
Okay, certainly hope I will not have to go and sort that out for you.
Who's this alchemist who cast a spell on the wind?
I believe his name is Clax. Roper Clax. Lives in a bloody rock somewhere up north, beyond Riverwood.
Doesn't ring any bells.
Aye.
Okay, so we've got this alchemist that does not want to release the wind, or that's something to the wind, and now they can't sail, so probably at some point I will have to use a boat, and to use a boat I'll have to enable it to sail, and to enable it to sail I'll have to deal with some alchemist, but that's just my wild assumption.
It's a small ship or boat. I don't know the difference. Is there a difference?
There probably isn't one. Okay, so we now know that we have to get some money, get the bird.
It's a lighthouse. The blue...
Deal with an alchemist of some sort, and probably save the world at some point doing that. Okay, I can go back to the big boat, but I can't go back to the town. Or at least I can't see a way of going back to the town. Interesting. I can't go this way either. Oh, city, there we go. Okie doke, so let's see, what can we do about that bird? I'm pretty sure we needed a gold coin. Whoa, actually, now that I think of it, the main cleric, I can't remember what his name was, he said that when I have a look around I should come back and talk to him. So maybe I'll start with that. I'll start with seeing him and then I'll take it from there. I believe Marketplace is where I wanna go, and then to the temple. I can't remember what his name was. Vistral... Tobias? Something like that? I wonder if I can just borrow a couple of gold coins or iron coins in this matter. Yes, Vestron Tobias, I actually remembered it.
Excuse me, Vestron Tobias?
Tobias. Just call me Tobias, please. I require no ceremony from a distinguished guest such as yourself. Did you enjoy the sights?
I don't know. I'm overwhelmed. Walking around out there, seeing with my own two eyes things that can't possibly exist. I kept thinking, it's all a dream. I'll wake up at any moment now and everything will return to normal. But then I realized, I'm still here. It's real. I can touch it. I can smell it. And you know what? It doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense here. Magic, alien creatures, parallel worlds. I don't believe in those things. I don't believe in fairy tales.
In your world, in Stark, there is no room for magic. That is, and always has been, the curse of science, the fallibility of logic and order. They leave no room for the imagination. If it does not fit into the narrow perception of the laws of nature that your world adheres to, it's a fairy tale. But then, magic has its downsides too. It's unpredictable. It invites chaos. It puts the balance in peril in a way that science alone never could.
I keep hearing about the balance, and about Stark, and Arcadia, and... This is probably going to sound strange to you, but I'm clueless. I have no idea what this place is, or what I'm doing here, or... All I know is that something strange is happening in my world, I guess. I had dreams, and the dreams felt so real, and then things started happening in real life too. Things that couldn't happen, and
I think I will begin at the very beginning. I believe that is why you were sent here, to learn, to understand, to see for yourself. Like you said, you cannot believe in this place.
Explanation is very welcome.
You will. After you have learned the truth, you will. Come with me, and I will tell you the story of Earth as your books never have. And when your eyes and ears are open to the truth, perhaps your mind will follow. We can only hope. Come.
So finally some answers to the questions that piled up. I am quite happy to hear that.
This is the true story of the balance, as observed by the Sentinel, the Order of the Balance, the Fathers. The Sentinel Minstrom committed this story to the pages of the scriptures, and to these temple walls, thousands of years ago, so that coming generations could learn and understand their past and their future. The wall paintings we are looking at became known as the murals of the balance. And it is through these images that I will recount our common history to you, April Rhyme. The story begins and ends here, with this mural. Ages ago and in ages to come, the earth was one, and magic and science existed side by side in nature and in all people. There was balance, and there was harmony.
You're saying there was just one world then?
One world, one earth. Magic and science in balance with each other, within each and every living creature. The power to make the stars dance and to create life itself was within our grasp. But then, humankind began to exploit this divine power of two, and they saw fit to use it for their own selfish purposes. The balance of the cosmos was in peril.
Okay, what happened
Unless
next?
something was done, unless man was humbled and learned to fear the power he wrought over cosmos, the twilight of chaos would fall upon Earth. It had happened before, in distant times and on distant worlds, and it would happen again. And every man, woman, and child of every people and every race would be devoured by the coming apocalypse. We were given a visitation then. The Drag Kin, having lived among us for untold generations, rose to offer their guidance and assistance in preserving the balance on our world.
Okay, it gets more interesting.
The Drag? I think I've heard that name before.
Drykin, Draken, Dragons, whichever name they go by, they remain the eternal servants and custodians of the balance. There were 4 of them here on Earth, and of the 4, one who would found the order of the balance, the Sentinel. The first Minstrum were instructed that magic and science would have to be separated before the balance collapsed and brought untold disaster. Earth would have to be split in 2 equal parts. Arcadia and Stark, magic and science, chaos and order. The first Sentinel were counted 13, 6 scientists, 6 magicians, and one who was between, the Drakkin, our mentor, our custodian, our learned guide. Both magic and science were needed to perform this most difficult of tasks. To split a world in 2, to create 2 worlds from one.
Wasn't the use of that kind of power dangerous to the balance?
Yes, and so for this purpose, they built a tower to channel their powers and focus them on the divide that they would create. The kin had brought a disc with them, a disc forged in the fire of their world. Placed at the base of the tower, and the epicenter of the divide, the disc and the tower would become one, a conduit for the flow of magic and science. At the appointed hour, the 13 came to the tower, and with them a woman, whose destiny was decided by the purpose to which she had been born. She would be the first guardian, the human protector of the balance, who would stay in the tower for 1,000 years to watch over the 2 worlds, and to ensure that the flows of magic and science were always equal. And so the ritual began.
So the dragon was
One
symbolic.
world was to become 2, separated by the balance, and each world visible to the other only by way of dreams. Who was ushered into which world was not an arbitrary choice, nor one taken lightly. For the magical creatures, the choice was simple. They had to go to Arcadia. Their kind would not survive in Stark. But for others, families were torn apart, lovers separated, and friends lost for all eternity. Encircled by the 12 and the one who would be guardian, the disc at the base of the tower began to spin faster and faster as more and more power flowed through it, until it was a blur. Darkness enveloped the tower, but the disc glowed brighter and brighter. Reality turned, and in one moment, a new reality had been created, and 2 new worlds born. In the tower there was silence. The original disc had disappeared, and in its place was a smaller counterpart, a similar yet different disc. Around and outside the tower the world looked different. They were now between Stark and Arcadia, between reality and dream. This was the realm of the balance and of the guardian, and it would be her home for the next 1,000 years. The one who was kin picked up the disc and said, "This disc is a counterpart to the original disc, which has now become this realm, and the key to which has been split and divided in 4. The key is the disc, and the disc is this realm." This mystified the 12, and the one who was kin continued, "Know only this. The Guardian's realm cannot be broken unless the disc is broken. But nor can it be repaired without the disc being repaired. The 4 pieces, that is the key, will be given to the 6 of you who are to be taken to Arcadia for safekeeping. Yet the key will never be complete," he went on, "without the precious stones that adorn each piece. I will keep 1, and my fellow kin the 3 others. Should the day come when this realm must be repaired, or the worlds reunited, and that day will come, you will assemble the disc, and the kin will come together one last time." With that, 6 of the 13 went to Arcadia, and 6 to Stark, and the one who would be guardian ascended to the throne. Witness the mural, where her dreams and hopes, her very soul, were locked away in the disk. In service of the balance, these traits were nothing but barriers. Through new eyes, the imbalance between the worlds was as clear as the stars themselves to the Guardian. And with one thought, she channeled chaos from Arcadia and logic from Stark into the disk, and redistributed the power wherever it was needed. A new era had begun, the era of the Guardian. After they left the tower, 2 of the Drakkin went to Stark, the other 2 to Arcadia. The 6 who came to each world started what is now known as the Sentinel, the Order of the Balance. But while in Arcadia the Sentinel thrived, in Stark they did not. In Stark, the memories of magic and the balance could not survive in the face of the new reality of natural laws, of logic and of science. And soon, very soon, Arcadia became nothing more than legend, a myth, tales of fairies to recount to impressionable children, and stories to frighten and entertain around a fire. And while dreams still brought sights and sounds of Arcadia to those asleep in Stark, they were discounted as mere dreams and nothing more.
So that's it? We forgot about our past and about Arcadia? And that's the way things are? Then what's wrong with that? And why does magic from Arcadia seem to have begun leaking through to Stark?
That is another long story. But I can tell that you are tired of stories, and so I shall be brief. As I told you, while in Arcadia, the Sentinel grew in numbers and in strength. In Stark, while flourishing for a brief time, they were soon diminished and powerless. Some of the Stark Sentinel did not take kindly to this, and they berated the Arcadian Sentinel for their politics and teachings. The Stark Sentinel wanted people to work towards reunification, while their brothers did not. So the inevitable soon came to pass, and the Stark Sentinel parted ways with their Arcadian brothers, and named themselves the Vanguard. And while at first their philosophy was not so different from ours, over the years it changed radically. The Vanguard wanted the divide torn down, the worlds reunited, and the return to what they called the Glorious Ages, when humankind could control the forces of cosmos. But first they needed their own servant in charge of the balance, their own guardian. Now, every 1,000 years, a new guardian took the place of the old one, because no one can be separated from their souls for any longer than 1,000 years. Every 1,000 years, a new guardian was born. The balance provided the seed from which a new fruit grew. But now, it has been 200 years since the previous guardian, the 12th guardian, was to be replaced. Every new child born to the balance has been taken away by the Vanguard, to be studied in an attempt to control them. In every instance so far they have failed. But the 12th guardian could wait no longer. Only a short time ago the disk in the tower shattered, and the guardian left his throne. The balance is now untended, and we have yet to find a new guardian. Unless we do so, the Vanguard may get their chance. And they may be able to place their own puppet on the throne, to rule the balance according to their principles. And this we cannot allow. It will mean the end of Stark and Arcadia, and the dawn of an era of chaos. Now do you see?
I understand the history. I can even accept it. But I don't understand why I'm here and what Cortez wants with me.
The balance is in peril, April. The Guardian has abandoned his tower. He has disappeared, and there is no one to take his place. He must be reinstated to protect the balance until a new Guardian may be found.
And what can I do? I'm nobody. I've just been having a lot of bad dreams.
You are a strong shifter. I have not seen your like in my lifetime.
A shifter?
Someone capable of opening doors between worlds. A shift, a portal between the realms of Stark and Arcadia.
Are you kidding? I didn't do anything. Cortez was the one who opened the shift, and he just waved his hands around in the air. I don't think I'd be capable of opening a portal even if I had a magic wand.
Only a shifter's own power can allow her to travel. No one else can do this for her. Cortez only channeled your power to aid you. He would not be able to step through this shift himself.
Even if that's true, I don't have any control over my talent.
Not yet. But in time you will. How else do you intend to travel back to your world?
God, I hadn't even thought about that yet. Can't you help me?
I'm afraid not. Even if I could shift, I would not be able to channel through you like Cortez did.
So, I'm on my own?
If you have any questions, I will do my best to answer them. But aside from that, yes. Yes, you are.
That's so not cool.
No, it has been unseasonably warm. If you don't mind, I will return to my studies now. Thank you for listening to an old man and his long stories.
No, thank you. It's starting to make a little bit of sense now.
That is good news. Come see me again if you have any more questions.
Okay, so a lot of knowledge dumped on us. Just to recap, as I understand it, Stark and Arcadia used to be one world, but it was too much and chaos would come in and try to destroy us, so we had to split into world of science and world of magic. So 13 people, 6 scientists, 6 magicians, and one, what do they call it? One, not the channeling person, one, protector of the balance, which apparently we don't have anymore, and that's why Stark is leaking to Arcadia, and probably the other way around as well. Okay, let's see what else can we do, because right now we know that we're on our own. We have to try and find out at least how we can go back to our world. There was a name that we were given. Maybe we can ask Vestrum Tobias about that name. There was a person Cortez asked us to see when we are ready to come back. Ah, there we go, Brian Westhouse.
Do you know a man named Brian Westhouse?
Westhouse? That old goat? Yes, unfortunately. What would you with him?
I need to find him.
I do not know where he lives. I hear somewhere on the outskirts of the city by the sea, but I cannot tell you any more than that.
Who'd know about Westhouse?
His whereabouts? I do not understand what you would with him. He is rude, uncultured, and ignorant.
Cortez told me to look him up.
Well, I do not know where he lives or frequents, but someone at the market may. He trades merchandise there, and I think he collects maps of the Northlands.
Ah, there we go.
Who did you say I should see about Westhouse?
The map merchant.
Sorry, we already know
that.
that.
May know. In the city, he is known as the Rolling Man because of his strange two-wheeled vehicle. A most dreadful and dangerous contraption if I ever saw one.
Two-wheeled
A
vehicle.
bicycle?
Perhaps.
Oh, yes.
It has a grotesque appearance, much like the Westhouse himself.
Yes, that does sound like a bicycle.
What do you know about Cortez?
Your mentor? What has he told you about himself?
Not much. Nothing, in fact. He's a complete mystery to me.
To learn something about someone, the best way to go about it is to ask them yourself. There is nothing I can do to enlighten you.
But who is he?
He is who he is, what he is. If he has not told you himself, then perhaps he does not wish you to know. It would be improper for me to divulge his secrets.
You're as bad as he is. No offense. It's just frustrating.
I understand. The next time you see him, tell him what you have told me. Maybe he will tell you the truth, maybe he will not. It is his choice to make.
I have a suspicion that he may be one of those dragons, those original founders, Because I now understand that the dragon from the dream was actually just a metaphor. So yes, Cortez could be one.
Do you mind if I ask you some questions about Arcadia?
I will try my best to answer any question you may have, April.
What's the history of Arcadia?
There is so much I do not know where to begin. In truth, it would be wiser to ask someone else, unless you wish to know about the Fathers, the Balance, or Mudhoppers.
Mudhoppers?
My secret passion. I study them. They are a most fascinating species. Most fascinating indeed.
And mudhoppers,
But
okay.
I'm not practically versed in the intricacies of history, I'm sorry to say.
Mercuria.
What's Mercuria like?
I have lived in this city all my life, and still it amazes me what a diverse, exciting, and wonderful place it is. Many have called Mercuria the jewel of the Northlands, and they are right. But it is a diamond in the rough. A city this size can never be flawless. There are always shadows, and people who hide in them. Lately the shadows have grown and darkened, and I fear for the future. But Mercuria is still a wonderful place to live.
What are the Northlands?
The Northlands is a collective term for all the lands north of the Great Sea, and south of the border mountains including Irede, Tyran, and Khorasan. Before, however, the word Northlands was used to describe this entire continent, including the territories north of the mountains and the icy wastes beyond that. Some still prefer the latter interpretation of the name. And to the people of the Southlands, anyone hailing from north of the Great Sea is a Northlander regardless.
Okay, so quite a lot of geography, which I would find a map helpful.
Tell me a little about Irede.
Irede means both unification and assembly in High Tongue, and many still call Irede the unified country, even though it is an age and a half since the lands of the north joined together in alliance. Irede stretches from the plains of Nedra in the north to the Great Sea in the south, and from the territories of Tyran in the west to the thick woodlands in the east. It is populated by humans and Dolmare, Tyran, and a number of other races. It is even said that a tribe of Venar have a ring of trees in Riverwood, though I'm not sure that is anything but a myth.
Okay, that went right over my head. I will need some context for all of that.
Thanks for the information.
I'm glad I could assist you.
Okay, he doesn't know that. I will need to see Westhouse about it, but I will ask anyway just to get all the conversation done.
How am I supposed to get back to Stark?
The only way to get back is through a shift. You are a shifter, April, and the power to travel between worlds is within you.
It might be within me, but it doesn't look like it's coming out anytime soon.
I wish I could help you, but I cannot. You must find the path on your own.
Alright then, so we know what we have to do.
I'll see you later.
You will? If you say so, then it must be true.
We now know what we have to do. We have to go to the map merchant and ask him about Westhouse, which apparently is his usual client. So he should at least know where I need to go to find him. And I need to go to the stalls probably, yes. But all of that will be in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know this way or another. And I'll see you in the next one.